Hello. What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Anik, I'm a classical pianist, and in today's video I thought it's time to do a little tier list with Chopin's Opus 10 Etudes. As you know, I studied all the Etudes, Opus 10 and Opus 25, and you guys wanted me to do like a little ranking of this. My honest opinion is all of the Etudes are extremely hard, like compared to everything else in piano literature, like in terms of technique and musicality. I would say that the Chopin Etudes are definitely like at least A, and most of them are S++. But like if we just compare the Etudes underneath themselves, then maybe it would make sense to, you know, talk a little bit about which one is maybe a little bit more difficult in technique and which one is, you know, anyway. Before we get started, I'm thinking a little bit about, you know, dividing up this channel. So on this channel I would keep all the challenges and like all the fun content, and then I would create another create another channel where I would put like all the tips and tricks and everything about, like, where I'm just talking about piano playing. I'm thinking about naming this channel maybe something like Piano Talk or Hot Key, like, you know, heart of the key. Blah. Anyway, if you have any idea for a new channel name, please put in the comments down below. And of course, you're very welcome to also subscribe to the channel as soon as I'm going online with it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. If you want to support me and this channel, please consider supporting me on Patreon. You'll find the link in the description box, and also merch. And also check out the merch. You will also find the link in the description box. I would say it's definitely one of the harder ones, technically and musically? Oh my god, my English is so bad. Like in both aspects, it's super hard. So I would definitely put it on the S tier. I mean, it's not only hard because of the technique that we already talked about in this video and also the music inside, but also because, like, if I put it in relation to everything else, it's the first etude. So like I have to start with this etude. If you are not warmed up properly, if you don't know the instrument properly, then you're going to have a very hard time with this one. In combination with number 1, number 2 is even more difficult. For me personally, it was definitely one of the most difficult ones. Technically, I always had like a big cramp in my arm, especially because, like, if my piano is not light enough, like the keys are not light enough, you have to reduce the tempo so much that you can't play it at all. Like otherwise, after the first couple of measures, you have to stop because my arm is just hurting too much. However, in terms of music, like, it is not so complex, I would say, but still I would also put it on the S, maybe even S plus or plus plus. I think many people think that this one is quite easy compared to all the other ones because it is slow. However, there is this middle part which is like technically super difficult. And also, like, technique is not just, you know, playing fast and furious. It's much more having control and a big range of colors and dynamics. And if you don't have like that much control over the sound quality, well, then this etude is definitely like very challenging because you want to control every single voice. Like, there are 3 voices, or yeah, if you want 4 voices, every voice is on another dynamical level, and you need another color for the main melody, you need another color for the bass melody and stuff. So, you know, like getting all of this separated from each other and working in your brain and get it into your fingers is super difficult. And yes, this is also considered as technique, at least in my opinion. I don't know how you see it, tell me in the comments. So yeah, I would give it like in terms of difficulty, maybe something between B and A. Is this too low? I don't know. Okay, next one, number 4. I know that many people think that this one is extremely difficult, and I can understand why they see it like this. I mean, we have not only like fast notes in our right hand, but also in our left hand. So like we're switching all the time. And also we are not concentrating only on one specific technique. Like if you look into number 1 or number 2, for example, there is like one specific technique and they're keeping this for the rest of the piece. It's not really changing anywhere. But in this etude number 4, we have so many technique changes. And this is something, in my opinion, that makes it on the one hand very hard, because you have to change like very fast. On the other hand, it makes it also easier because you have like different movements going on. If you compare it to number 1, for example, it's a little bit like cardio training. In number 4, you have so many different movements going on that you have a little bit of change in the muscles that you're using, let's say. So it's not that much of cardio training in my opinion. I would not put it on the S++, but maybe something between A and S. Okay, let's go with an A. Yeah, let's go with A. Even though this etude is called the Black Keys etude, like first of all, you're not only playing on black keys, and second, I don't think that this is the thing that you're training in this etude, like even though you're playing a lot on black keys. But I think the reason why is because you're basically training kind of a rotation movement, and it's easier to do this on black keys a little bit, I feel like. So this is why I guess he put it on black keys, and also it's fun to play. Technically, I would say it is definitely not as difficult as the 4 first ones. Like the ending of this etude is actually very, very difficult. Like you need a lot of control. Like, I mean, like you need control all the time actually. But anyway, I would maybe put it between C and B. Let's put it on a B. Let's don't be too hard. No, let's put it on C. I don't know. Okay, C. Number 6 again is like people should not underestimate slower etudes or slower pieces in general. Again, I think it is like training to create sound color and not, you know, obviously it's not training to play faster. It's training to have a lot of control, to divide like different voices. We have 3 voices in this case, and like the middle voice, it's so difficult to get it into a shape that is like a snake, like that is going through this very mysterious and, you know, scary feeling. And then on top of this, a very melancholic melody, and then somewhere you have to put like the bass, and you know, just to get this all together and create a nice sound that is creating this goosebump moment for the audience, this is super difficult. And again, we have like the same type of technique that is going through the whole piece. It costs a lot of nerves to go through the whole piece. Like it's not like the muscles in this case, it's really your brain. So yeah, it's again kind of a cardio training, but like for your brain and not for your muscles specifically. I would put it somewhere between B and A. Okay, let's go with an A tier. I think it's actually very difficult. It took me a while to understand like the technique that is going on. I'm very much used to play a lot with this horizontal movement. And in this case, I had to combine this a lot with a small vertical movement in my fingers to create all these repetitions in a fast tempo. And then also there's this bass, and you don't really understand like at the beginning, where is my main melody? And I'm not really sure if there's something like a main melody, like everything can be your main melody in the end. So that is like technically and musically is a little bit confusing in the beginning. Not just a little bit, it's very confusing at the beginning. I would say it's a solid B tier. One of my favorite ones, like it's so light and so happy. I would say the writer is not like so difficult. What is much more difficult is like all the arpeggios and like the jumps in your left hand together with this, until I reached the point where I didn't like look at my right hand anymore and just, you know, concentrated on my left hand. It took a long while, but then like it starts to get much easier. Like you can breathe very easily together with the music. So I would also go with a B tier here. Number 9. I think number 9 was actually more damaging for him. There is this part where you have fortissimo, or like three time forte, fortissimo, repeating an octave on one of the higher registers. And you know, it's very damaging for your instrument. I'm sorry. Of course, the left hand is very complicated. You have quite a lot of movement. And in the beginning, I used to move into this direction, which will never work. Like or let's say in the 99% of the cases, this type of movement does not work, and you have to move the other way around. Like you have to move away from your body instead of into your body. Until I understood this, like it took me quite a long, I don't know, 10 years until I understood this concept. Until then, I had really a hard time with this etude because like I was getting into my own way to play like this. I think in combination with him, how much he had to suffer, I would put it on an S tier. I think number 10 looks in the beginning very comfortable to play and quite easy and obvious. I mean, you have enough space to relax, and you know, the technique itself is not so difficult. But the music, like until you realize that it is actually polyrhythm inside without like really playing polyrhythm, and then artificially creating this polyrhythm, it's really brain fuck. I mean, it's hard for your brain. But all in all, it's actually a very fun piece to play. I would put it on the B tier. I would say in this case, it was not so easy to find a nice tempo. Like for a long time I played it very fast, and I played like very fast arpeggios, and maybe I was more orientating on a guitar, like to play like this. But now, like in my interpretation, is maybe more like a harp. I don't know. It just looks nice. So basically what I want to try is that like the gap between the arpeggios is not too big, and like basically you're all the time in the movement. I think that was my trick to find a nice tempo for this one. But still, like all the arpeggios and then like creating this main melody on top of it is also not easy. So yeah, I think it is on a similar level than number 10. So yeah, B tier. Number 12, from the little revolutionary. Revolution. Bah. Number 12. I won't say the name. Revolutionsetude. I think many people think it is difficult, but out of Opus 10, it was definitely not the hardest one. I would like to put it on a B tier, but I think he would disagree with me. Of course, like the left hand is not easy to play. However, if you have a good fingering, if you train it a little bit, it becomes like very fast. It is quite comfortable to play. And also like the right hand is not doing like that much. It is very powerful and it's very dramatic. So musically it is like tough to play. I don't know, what would you say? Now, this is of course just my opinion. How would the ranking look in your opinion? Where do you agree with me? Where would you disagree with me? Put it in the comments down below. We will see us in the next videos. Bye. Irgendwie habe ich das Gefühl, es ist total schräg, aber egal. Scheiß drauf.